Good afternoon, my awesome family. I am Darrius from the Marabella Open Bible Church, and I will be sharing this week's Monday Minutes with you. So, we're going to be talking about obedience, more specifically, partial obedience. And what is partial obedience, you might ask? That is when you get a command from anyone, in this case, you're talking about from God, and you're only obeying part of the command, or you still find a way to do it your way. In life, that might look like somebody God tell you to give $100 and you only give 50, or your mom tell you to go straight home but you stop somewhere along the way. We all know what that's like, what partial obedience is. For the scripture, we're going to be looking at 1 Samuel chapter 15, where we see a big example of partial obedience from King Saul. So in verse 3, God told Saul to go and fight the Amalekites and devote to destruction everything, to just go clear out anything. And Saul decided that he have a better way to do it. He spared the king, that is Agag. He spared the best of the sheep, the oxen, all that they had, all that he thought was good. He spared it and decided to keep it. And he was convinced that he was doing God's work, but he was not obeying totally. And I want us to stop and think how much times that's us, where we get a command from God and we tell ourselves we can do it better, we can do it differently. Like, I feel like I hear God say this, but I have a better way to do it. And then when Saul was confronted by Samuel, he came to eventually admit that because he feared people, this is verse 24, because he feared people, he obeyed their voice. Do we put the opinions of others before the direction from God? Plenty times we need to stop and really consider our actions before we move, so we don't end up this one mistake that Saul made sent him down a spiral where he lost his kingship and everything. And so we don't want to end up in a situation where we disobey God and it spirals into something completely worse. So I want to just leave you guys with two questions to really challenge yourself this week to consider. One, have I ever disobeyed God thinking that the alternate opinion was better, the alternate option, whether it's in serving, in giving, if God tells you to go somewhere and you decide you have a better way to do it? And are there times that I disobey God out of fear of what people might say or think? That is a big one to consider. I know I had to look in myself when that question came up, because I would have struggled with that as well. But knowing that, as Samuel said, to obey is better than to sacrifice. To obey God trumps everything else. So I want to encourage you guys, don't worry what people may say. Don't worry about thinking that your way is better, because at the end of the day, God's way is the ultimate way. I really hope you guys have been blessed by this message. Continue to obey God, and love people. Have an awesome week ahead.